is Vaani Kapoor and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
Vaani Kapoor, welcome back on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, so from war to Bello Bottom, how's been the journey?
It's been pretty easy. I mean, the fact that all our lives had come to a pause and a standstill thanks to the pandemic. I think I still have many things to be grateful about because in the midst of the pandemic, in fact, at its peak, we happened to go to Glasgow and shoot an entire film. So I'm just happy that I had work and it's a good film that we all have made, and so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling nice about it.
Okay, and how's the experience of shooting for the film in the middle of the pandemic? How scary was it in terms of all that was happening around you? You guys traveled to UK.
Yeah, we directly went to Glasgow. On our way back, we went to UK and then we came back. But of course, it was like at its peak, when days when we were also sanitizing our vegetables and all during that paranoia and the kind of, for all the right reasons, the kind of nervousness that one had. Traveling to a different country, you never knew if you test positive there, how are you going to come back to your country, how are you going to quarantine, who's going to take care of you, because the kind of situation that we were all stuck in. My parents were a bit worried, but luckily the production and Akshay, Kumar, they all were very, very good with handling the whole protocol and taking all safety measures. We were getting tested every week. We were all quarantined separately in different apartments, and then once the movie began, we were put into a bubble, and and luckily Glasgow is very spaced out, so you didn't have too many people. It's not densely populated, so it was a lot easier to control and handle, and we all came back in good health.
When you were narrated the script of the film, how do you respond to your character's graph, and what really you made of it?
So this wasn't a very difficult character to crack for me, to be honest. It was very it was written on the paper what one had to achieve out of it. So she's very relatable, honestly. She's somebody who's she's a great support, and like how they've also mentioned in her characteristic that she's like the backbone of this man's character, and there are various elements attached to her which once the movie comes out, one could elaborate on it. But she's apart from being this sweet, lovely, wonderful partner to this person, she also is an individual who has her own standing, who's very level-headed, very centered. Somebody who's in those times, she had a job of her own. She used to work and make a living for herself and be the breadwinner of the family, and be somebody who was very independent. So it's a great how do you say, a portrayal of a woman back in the late 70s, early 80s, which is very interesting.
Okay, and how's the movie shaped up? The buzz seems to be quite positive. Releasing in theaters.
I think people like it. It's a very interesting and a very intriguing topic. It's something which is it is derived from true live events and all. How back in the days, if a plane would get hijacked, how these missions were held to solve the issues, and nowadays when you see there's advanced technologies, we have social media, easy access, so I guess a Gen Z can now figure it out how things worked back in the days.
Right. And ironically, as we speak right now, I think the pivotal part of the film is around hijacking a plane, and there are these visuals that are coming out from Kabul airport right now, the way people are literally clinging on to planes, and obviously it is not a hijack, but like a country.
No, I understand. It's really devastating.
Yeah. So do you see any parallel between your film in terms of the plane element that I'm saying and the visuals that are coming out right now? Because
I would say the human emotion, the kind of worry and the kind of the unknowing of what's going to happen, what's going to hold for your future. I think that's something that one can derive from it. The situation, it can be very worrisome and unknown, and the unknown can be more scary, so yeah, that really does give you flashbacks of or a similarity between the two.
How do you look back at your career since Shubh Desi Romance? How do you think it has been flowing?
My filmography is pretty small. It's not a very big one for me to look back.
8 years for you.
Yeah, and very limited films. I've been part of very few films. So there's a lot more learning and on still learning and understanding of the craft and of films and the kind of this industry in general, I feel. Of course, you learn and observe on many subliminal levels, you know. So I have had a very conscious and a subconscious learning. It's made me definitely more confident from my first movie. It's given me a lot more confidence in general to be able to experiment or improvise or to create something new and to have more faith in my characters and to have more faith in the kind of way I conduct them. Bring that point of view in front. People do take you a little more seriously because once they start liking your work, they start incorporating your ideas, or they take you a little more seriously on set, I believe. And it's been great. I still feel there's so much more for me to do and to learn, you know.
You say there's so much more for you to do, and learning is, I think, that is lifelong for almost everyone. But
yeah.
People who've seen your journeys right from your first film, Shubh Desi Romance, so you know you knew the job from the first film itself.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't. I was so curious about my own job. I was a model who auditioned, and my auditions luckily went in my favor. They turned out well. But I did not know this. When I had to play Tara from Shubh Desi, I was very clueless. It was all Manish's brainchild and how he conducted and how he showed me what this girl is about. I never understood the girl only. You know, so I used to always question him like a daft person. What am I to do? I mean, why is she behaving like this? I would not behave like this. So that, you know, the conviction needs to come from within. So there's so many things one needs to understand, because once you're convinced, I've understood that once you're convinced, it's easier to convince others. It's all about conviction at the end of the day. I was very clueless when I did Shubh Desi. I used to be extremely scared, like a scared little puppy, not knowing, you know, feeling lost, didn't know where to look, what lights, camera, technicalities around me to hit my mark. Always, you know, like, so there were so many things I was clueless about that I genuinely had my nerves were constantly, I was a nervous wreck most of the times.
Okay, so you know, that is your perspective because you experienced it yourself. But I'm saying from a viewer's perspective entirely. I'm not getting into the critic zone. That is something that I don't believe in. But as from a viewer's perspective, I still remember when I saw the film, I did not notice false notes in your performance in terms of कि जो आपसे expected था, you were able to deliver, and I think that is the feedback that you must have received as well, even in terms of reviews you received.
I think even Manish didn't realize that it's come out so well because he called me once the movie came out. And
yeah, because see, हम तो जज करेंगे जो किताब हमारे सामने रखी जाए. किताब को लिखने में क्या दिक्कतें आई हैं वो हमें नहीं पता. हमें उसमें दिलचस्पी नहीं. हमें दिलचस्पी ये है कि हम जो देख रहे हैं, does it hold our attention or not? And you did. Even when we interviewed you, when I interviewed you for your first film, you came out as confident. And even after that, आपकी जो भी आपकी फिल्में आई हैं, you know, I think you have this rare, I think, quality that you've actually worked with Aditya Chopra. बहुत से लोगों ने तो उनकी तो सिर्फ ambition है कि देख लें एक बार Aditya Chopra को. वही ambition है उनका. तो आपने तो काम किया उनके साथ.
Yeah, of course. With Aditya Chopra and Manish Sharma, both I have high regards for. I genuinely feel those two are. I mean, Manish Sharma gave me my first movie. He took me on the basis of just one audition and he said, you know, I'm going to cast this girl in my film. With Adi also, he saw my work in 2 films, Shubh Desi Romance and Ara Kalyan, and the South film that I had done. And he felt that I had potential, and I had to go through a grilling, like the months of auditions, but eventually he did sign a newcomer who had no credibility, no stardom, no nothing, you know. So I mean, for me, it's a dream come true. For me, Befikr is always going to be special.
No, absolutely. So basically, what I was trying to say was that aapne, right through the beginning, you've made a mark. You've worked with some of the biggest filmmakers. You're part of War, which is like a 300 crore film. You're presented amazingly. Length of the role, I think, is not significant as long as you're creating an impact, and that is something that you do. You took up a character of playing a mother, which is, I think many actors, young actors, they may have tough time thinking about it. But still, there is, this is what I personally feel, that जो आपका potential है as an actor, अभी तक हमने वो देखा नहीं. That is something that आप, मतलब जो आपके अंदर की एक scream है, वो अब तक हमने पर्दे पे नहीं देखी.
I'm also hoping for more films to happen so I can show a lot many more dimensions to my acting and to my just me as an actor, as an artist, But I've also understood that everybody is charting such a different course for themselves in this industry. There's no two journeys are similar, and you have to pick and choose from whatever's coming to you. So the kind of projects that have come my way, I've tried to pick the best from it and make it work for me so far. And I guess काम ही आपको काम लाता है. When you're working, people see your work and then maybe they can picture you in their film or in a certain role or in a certain character. Not everybody has the confidence to bet on a newcomer or a new person or relatively new person. It takes a lot of courage. Everybody either wants a fresh face that they want to launch, or they want a star who brings already a decent amount of credibility and audience pull. So I guess you have to start somewhere. Some people get it at a very early stage of their career. Some get it in the middle. Some get it very late. It's a little bit of destiny, a little bit of making the right decisions, taking the right calls. I think I'm working with whatever best I feel is coming my way and trying to make the most of that.
Okay, so what is it that you've learned over the years from your peers, from people around you, in terms of what are the sort of films that you should watch or you watch? Do you like to read? What is it that you like to read? Are you interested in theatre?
I've started reading actually in the midst of this whole pandemic situation. I started picking up books and I started reading, and there are a lot of books that I'm reading. I read Andre Agassi's, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He's a footballer. Yeah. His biography I read, and then then I'm reading Dr. Shefali's book on a radical awakening. I read a lot of books which are very enlightening and which are very self-reflective, and I love binge watching movies and shows. So that for me is my stress buster. What I've learned from my peers, there's, like I said, on so many subliminal levels, you keep learning something or the other. Even when you're not consciously trying to make an effort to observe anything or learn something, you kind of incorporate that in yourself, because that's how, a human mind also works. You just pick up things from your surroundings. So I've been very lucky that way, that I've got the best of the best co-actors, the best in the industry, from a Hrithik to a Ranbir, Ayushmann, everybody, Akshay, Kumar, everybody is so good at what they do that it kind of, you kind of pick up things very unknowingly as well from them. And I realized they all are you need to have true love for what you're doing, and I see that in myself also. I don't think anybody in this industry would survive for long if you do not have the right, firstly, if you don't know why you're in it, if your intentions are not clear to yourself, and secondly, if you don't have true love for what you do, because this is all about human emotions. You're dealing, it's not a technical job. It's not something that, it comes from within, somewhere within. And the more ready you are and loving you are for your job, the better you can be.
Right. And you're having another big film, which is Shamshera. You're having Ranbir Kapoor and Sanjay Dutt as your co-star. So what is it that Vaani Kapoor fans can look forward to?
I'm hoping that both these movies can get me a lot of love from people, because I'm very, very kicked about them. Shamshera is such a spectacular film, and so is Chandigarh Kare Aashiqui.
I'm coming to that shortly.
Yeah. So Shamshera is this big, big, big film and everything, and I'm looking very different in the movie. It's a different, as cliched and mundane as it may sound now, but it is a one-of-a-kind thing that I haven't ever done before. It's a period which has not been explored. For me and Ranbir both. For both of us, it's a very different periodic film and drama, and a very big scale, grand film there's drama, there's romance, there's thrill, there's everything in it. So it's a power-packed, movie which is made for a theatrical experience. And there's a lot more for me to do in Shamshera. Hopefully you will like me. There's a lot more for me to do in Chandigarh Kare Aashiqui. Again, it's made in today's day and age, in modern times. And I'm playing again a very, very different kind of a role, which I don't think they've explored in Hindi cinema before.
Right. So Chandigarh Kare Aashiqui is something that personally I'll be quite keen on, and I would like to know from you, because director Abhishek, I think he's a very interesting director. The way he writes his stories, I think, is something which is really today. Yeah. And he's an interesting way of saying things as well. And Ayushmann obviously is doing some really fine work. So tell me something more about Chandigarh Kare Aashiqui.
I wish I could elaborate a lot right now, but I have to zip up and keep shut until things come out and until Gattu wants to decide how one needs to, when one needs to talk about the film. But it's a very interesting part. Very, very kicked about this part. It's I'm just looking forward. It's so sad that I can't talk about anything, but it's a very, very cool part and a very good film. It's a romantic love story, like a rom-com. I don't know if you can call it a rom-com. Yeah, it's a romantic comedy, and everybody's been telling, and I've seen the film already, and it's looking great. It's looking amazing. It's looking fun and a very feel-good movie. So
very good movie. All right. So you said that you like watching a lot of these shows. So now OTT is something that has really come into its own especially in the last 1.5 years, because of pandemic. What sort of shows do you like? Is that space that you'd like to explore as an actor? The long format, does that excite you?
I really like The Family Man. Even the second season I saw, I really liked it. I thought Samantha Prabhu did a fantastic job, and everybody, Manoj Bajpayee, of course, spectacular again. I thought it was brilliantly made. Then I've seen, I've just been watching all, what I've been watching, I've just been off it because of this whole leg of promotions that was happening. What was the last thing? What are the cool things that have come out? I must have seen now, I'm forgetting the names.
Like Money Heist and Money Heist.
Yeah, but those are they came much earlier, no? Like I've seen, done watching them. It's been which other shows are now? See, nothing striking me like this. How to Be a Tyrant, I was watching. Then I was watching something about, just give me one quick sec. I'll check on my Netflix page. Recently viewed. It'll all come to me. What other shows have come out recently?
Bombay Begums?
Loved Bombay Begums. Loved it. It was so cool. It was very nicely made. Yeah, then I was binge watching Schitt's Creek because I love Schitt's Creek. How to Become a Tyrant I watched. I've also seen Too Hot to Handle, which is absolute I shouldn't be. It's not a very... Which other shows? The movies and stuff. And Bombay Begums I saw a lot of films, old films. I watch a lot of old movies. I saw The Bold Type. What other films have come out? Yeah, basically all these.
Right. So this space excites. Would you want to do like a web show?
Why not? I mean, if there's a great director, great script, content, I would love to. It's a matter of the right team and the right content that needs to come. And I think OTT is a beautiful platform for now. So many actors are getting recognized, and directors, script writers, everybody, and it's a big segment, big chunk of our nation who's on it, on watching movies and shows on OTT.
What is something you were thrilled to discover about Akshay Kumar while shooting for Bello Bottom?
What is it that I discovered?
Mm-hmm.
He likes to play these games. He loves to play Mafia and Ludo and all. And sometimes he also bets on those games like Ludo and all. Like money-wise, we bet.
One thing Akshay Kumar can do very easily, you wish you could do that.
Action, martial arts. His comedy also, sense of humor.
What makes Bello Bottom a perfect film to enjoy in cinema halls?
The fact that it's a very intriguing, film, which is about, I could just easily say Akshay Kumar. And the second reason would be the story of the film. It's very, very cool. It's very nicely made thriller, and it's taken from the true events.
Right. What is something that most of the girls find attractive about boys, but you don't?
I can't speak on, I don't know what other girls find attractive or don't find attractive, but I think I don't like people when they try to put on that extra sense of confidence, when they're not. I like realness. I don't like when somebody projects a lot.
What is the funniest rumor you've heard about yourself?
Once back in the days, I heard that I don't know, that my nose is like Ranbir Kapoor's. I don't know, something I heard.
Answer these questions based on your experience of working with them. Okay, the most annoying habit of Ranveer Singh.
He's going to kill me. What is his most annoying habit? Sometimes how do I say? Oh God, I don't want to discuss about his annoying habit. We've been very good terms, and I'd like to keep it like that.
Easiest way to win Hrithik Roshan's heart.
Good food, I guess.
Good food.
He loves good food, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
And just somebody, and I think he likes a great funny sense of humor, I guess.
The easiest way to piss Akshay Kumar off.
If you don't show up on time.
He's very punctual.
Very punctual.
If you were a journalist, what question would you like to ask the following people? Manish
If
Sharma.
I was a journalist.
If you were a journalist,
Okay.
what question would you ask to Manish Sharma?
When are you signing Vaani Kapoor next?
Ranbir Kapoor, if you had to ask a question to Ranbir Kapoor.
I love his dressing sense a lot, actually. I'd like to just ask him where he's shopping these days. Who's he has a great sense of style, I think. So something about his style, maybe.
Okay, Akshay Kumar, if you had to ask a question to Akshay Kumar.
Has he ever been late on set?
Has he ever been late on the set?
The
Okay,
fact
that's
that he's
interesting.
super punctual. Has he ever missed it? Has he ever I don't know, missed a call time or shown up late? I guess.
If you had to ask a question to Aditya Chopra.
When is he making his next film? We're all awaiting his next.
Is he making? All right, complete the following sentences, please. The most common quality of my co-stars, Hrithik and Akshay, that I admire a lot is?
Most common. Oh God, that's a lot of stuff. You want me to know them inside out to have these? Okay, wait, a common quality. I think they both are extremely focused as actors, and they're both how do you say? They take their work very seriously, very seriously. Extreme. Okay. Yeah.
A Bollywood classic of which you would want to be a part of its remake.
Bollywood film. There's Lamhe, maybe.
Lamhe, okay.
Lamhe was a beautiful film.
That's
Even
great.
there's something like Dil Se, like Shah Rukh and Manisha Koirala's Dil Se movie.
Right. That's interesting. Okay. Marjava ya Sakhiyan 2.0, your favorite song from Bello Bottom.
Sakya 2.0. And I know Akshay Kumar's favorite is Marjava. So I'm giving love to Sakya 2.0.
Okay, no gym for a year, ya no Instagram for a year.
No Instagram for a year. I have to work out. It's very important for my work. It's not that I love gym. I just have to work out. Yeah.
Okay, Tara of Shuddh Desi Romance ya Shaira of Befikre, your favorite role.
They both mean so much to me, but I'm slightly more partial towards Shaira of Befikre. She's just a commendable part for any girl to play, and had it not been judged so much, I feel like one would have understood it's a very well-written, fleshed out part for any girl to play, and there's a lot of beauty and soul in that character.
To make audience cry, you have to make audience laugh. What is easier for you as an actor?
For me, what's easier is maybe to make them cry, I guess. I hope they're happy tears.
If you're in a bad mood, do you want someone to cheer you up? Yeah, do you prefer to be left alone?
Left alone. Yeah. If I'm really genuinely sulking and feeling bad and I'm depressed or feeling at my lowest, I just want to be left alone.
Reading the link up rumors about you, yeah, being asked about them in the interviews. What is more irritating?
Rumors in general are irritating. In general, despite of how they're being brought into your focus. Yeah. Hi, this is Vaani Kapoor and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.